I went to America for 3 weeks on a holiday and brought my camera along with me and recorded a bunch of stuff. Not a lot of stuff. Not a lot for 3 weeks anyway, but I put together a nice little holiday vlog. I'm only putting it on YouTube because that's the best place to put it. It's more for me than for anyone else to watch, just as like a little memory box as you would. I've got lots of photos, but videos are better. So for a slight bit of context, I went to the state of Virginia for a while. I travelled around the place a bit. And my granddad lives over there. He is originally from Essex, moved over there 35 years ago I think, and has lived there ever since, so I went to visit him for 3 weeks. So yeah, this is my holiday. I'm in America. So I didn't record the travelling because I thought that might be a bit boring. So day one, I'm here. Obviously not a lot happened during travelling. I got on a plane. Planes ain't fun. But first on the agenda today. So the reason I'm wearing this is because it's the Ulster Gaelic football final today. 9 o'clock in the morning here, 2 o'clock that time, and Fermanagh has never won it in 140 years. This is their first final in 10 years, and I really hope they win.
Almost paying off, but not quite. Out to Anthony Thompson. Always did a wonderful job for Donegal, I thought, in the Jimmy.
The next morning we had breakfast at IHOP, and I believe we played golf that day. The following Monday I'm not sure really what we did. I didn't take any photos or record, so I'm guessing I didn't do much. Although I did have a bit of an incident at a shop. So when we were out shopping for stuff, I really hurt my back. I don't know how, but I'm just now laying in bed because it hurts to walk. Hopefully it gets better. Because I want to do stuff today, but I can't if I can't fucking walk, can I? And that's about it really. Bit of a quiet day today. England 1-6-1. That's weird. Good for them. Looking forward to watching the Belgium game. And yeah, I'll update if anything actually happens. So we just came back from eating at an Indian restaurant and had a Dairy Queen for dessert, and a storm started and the rain started to come down, and it looks really fucking awesome. Yeah, I didn't bother bringing my camera. We had I had a butter chicken, it's really nice, and Dairy Queen for dessert I had a strawberry sundae. It's very lovely. We were planning on just sitting out in the garden and resting up, maybe having a bit of golf sessions, but can't fucking do that now, can we? So, we'll see what's on the agenda tomorrow instead, shall we?
So, I know I didn't vlog much yesterday. I'm still trying to get into the sort of swing of things, so if I do, I'll probably do much more today. We're doing quite a lot more. I think going down to a driving range just to practice because we're playing golf tomorrow. And we're also going to the Marine Science Museum, so I'll probably end up getting a lot more of that. I haven't showered or anything like that. I look like a mess. I'm eating Special K. It's nice. But yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the whole vlogging thing. I'm not good at it. But then again, I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for me, so...
Another thing as well is that oatmeal raisin cookies are fucking nice. Lunch at Hardee's, I had just a plain burger, and then after that we went to the Virginia Marine Science Museum and I saw otters. And I actually had 40 minutes worth of footage of otters. I've only included a couple seconds, but me and my granddad just sat and looked at the otters for a solid 45 minutes and it was fucking awesome. The day after that we visited the first of the 4 air and space museums that we went to over the 3 weeks. This one was the one in Hampton, labelled the Virginia Air and Space Museum. So what was the battle?
The Monitor and the Virginia back in the Civil War.
They fought on that.
No. War of Independence.
So basically, yeah, it's just a big old battle on the boats over there. Turns out this place is far cooler than I thought it would be. How fucking badass this place is.
That's in the campaign, 3-20. Okay, German. Go.
Fuck, this is so awesome. Nice bit of breeze anyway.
Large screen, isn't it?
It is a very large screen. And we're the only ones in the entire theatre.
At NASA
For
Langley, I develop inflatable heat
lovely
shields for
IMAX.
spacecraft.
During this time as well, we had lunch at this very lovely place that had all homemade stuff. So all the bread was homemade. They had homemade quiche that my granddad had. I had like a grilled chicken sandwich with like a massive fucking slice of bread like that. It was wonderful. And also, we found an English store labelled, like a foreign English store, which was weird. But they had a drink called Tizer. Now, I've been looking for this drink for nearly 8 years, and I could never find it in any shop I went to. And it was very weird seeing Tizer 3,000 miles away from home after 8 years. But it was nice, it tasted so nice. And then I came home straight away and ordered like 24 cans off Amazon, because I'm that guy. The day after that we played our first round of golf at Kempsville Golf Course, I think it was called. I didn't do well, I shot like 108, 109. It was my first game of the year, like I wasn't going to do very well. But it was enjoyable nonetheless. A couple days passed where I didn't really record anything. I don't think a lot happened. We watched World Cup, we played more golf, we watched more World Cup. That's basically how it went for a couple of days. But then we went for a nice 3-hour drive down to a place called Lake Gaston. But it was awesome. I got on a jet ski. I went on the water at 65 miles per hour, slightly terrifying. Felt like James Bond. We came back from Lake Gaston, and one of my other granddad's friends, who was in the Navy for 30 plus years, managed to let us onto the actual naval base, because Virginia is a very militarised area. They've got like 2 or 3 naval bases there. That's where they build all the aircraft carriers and stuff. So we got onto the naval base and I got up close to 3 aircraft carriers, the newest one being the Gerald R. Ford, and I got to see it, and that was cool. Yeah, it's... Come here. And then I got to experience one of the most magical things I've ever seen. I'm up a little early this morning, but with good reason. So after getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, we had another 2.5 hour drive going north. We had to drive over a 13-mile bridge. It's 30 miles of just travelling across the ocean. Onto this place called Wallops Island, where there was this NASA facility and a little museum that we went to. We only stayed there for less than an hour, it wasn't much. So we travelled 2.5 hours, we stayed there for barely an hour and then travelled 2.5 hours back. Because we had so much time left in the afternoon, we went to the local city Norfolk, where we went to the Naval Museum, where the USS Wisconsin is stationed. I say stationed, it's not active anymore, but it's just there as like a touristy thing. It was a battleship that served in World War II all the way up until like 1992, I think it was. And then the sad day was the last weekend I was there. Although it was enjoyable, I was having to go home on Sunday, but we went down to Washington DC on the Friday. Spent the whole Saturday doing all of the touristy stuff, you know, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Memorial, White House. Fuck me. We actually went to a Holocaust Museum. I didn't record anything because I thought that'd be too disrespectful, but it was extremely fascinating and it left us quite depressed afterwards. But we spent a good 2.5 hours in there. It's only a small museum, but it was very well done. And yeah, we reflected on that quite a lot. It was quite sad. But then after that we went to the 3rd Air and Space Museum, the first Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. We went to that afterwards. That cheered us up a bit. And then the sad moment came when I had to leave. The flight was at 5:30. We got to the airport at about 1, so there was a lot of waiting around, but I got onto the plane, I watched films and I came home. And now I'm sad because I can't go back because I'm poor. I hope you enjoyed the look into my holiday. It's not a lot for 3 weeks of a holiday. I didn't really want to record something because it is my holiday. I wanted to enjoy it really, I really needed it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and I will see you next video, so ta-ra!